And we're back for another Gab with Abigail. If you aren't back and this is your first time on my channel, hi, welcome to Gabs with Abigail, where we talk about the Bates and Duggars and other D-list fundies. I feel like we haven't done a hang out with me video in a while. So for today's video, as you can see from the title, we are going to be ranking all of the Duggars and Bates bridesmaids dresses. For no reason except that, why not? Maybe I have to, and I probably should preface this. I know, actually I'm not going to. People were oh my god, it's not your wedding, they look beautiful. I'm like, obviously, duh. For the last video I did with ranking their wedding dresses, they all looked beautiful, honey. Let's get over it. Anyways, I'm actually going to do this from my favorites, from the top to the bottom. And I'm also going to maybe tier these as well. Okay, so the categories for this are, did Michael sew these? Dresses that you can wear again to church. You definitely are wearing pants now. And I wanted to get something that everybody would look good in. So let's go. Okay, so I don't know if this is necessarily my favorite dress, but I'm ranking this one as number one. And I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with me. And that's Lydia's bridesmaids dresses. And the reason why is I liked the white. I liked that these were just a little bit borderline, not modest. Did you guys recently see, it was on Reddit, a sermon that Gil Bates preached that was LTS, about how you should monitor your modesty standards. L is it too low? S, is it too short? And T, is it too tight? And I feel like everything about Lydia's wedding dresses, it tap dances, it tiptoes on that line of, yes, it is a little bit, for the fundy standards. And that's why I like it. But what I also like about it is that it's white. I think it's so interesting when people choose white for their bridesmaids dresses. And then especially since everybody in her wedding party was definitely, a pure, chaste, clean girl. To me, Lydia's was the most daring. That's probably the right word. So she is getting number one. And this is a wedding where all of the girls in it wore the same thing. The category, the tier for this dress is definitely going to be you wear pants now. Or have always worn pants. It's giving jeans. Okay, number two is going to go to Ginger. And I feel looking at these pictures, I like Ginger's dress and wedding look more than I feel like I rated it maybe in the last video. The more you look. But why Ginger gets number two is she was the first one to really say it's giving modern a bit with the weddings, right? I feel like her wedding was the first almost shift into a fancier type of wedding. I don't even know if fancy is the right word, but a more modern, I guess is what I want to say. And I think Ginger's wedding is the first wedding where they use Miss Cindy. And don't get me started on Miss Cindy. I've got a lot of positive things to say. I loved that they were all the same dress and then in different colors. And so that's why I feel like hers was the first one to really do that out of everybody. So I love that. It was very on brand for the idea of what people had in their mind about Ginger. That's why it's I don't know, Ginger girl, why you're telling us that we were wrong about you. I loved the color palette. I love, even there was a diversity within the bridesmaid. She's got an Asian and a black girl. Come on now. It had to be number two. And then everybody wore a color that looked nice on them. I loved it. And definitely going in the you wear pants now category. Nobody does a wedding like this, like Ginger's wedding, and is gonna wear skirts for the rest of their life. The writing was on the wall, and you tried to gaslight us in your book that it wasn't. Number 3, Carlin. I really liked Carlin's. I really, really loved that she did completely entirely different dresses for all of the girls who were in her dress, and she had a bridal party of like 27 bitches. I swear to God. Okay, disrespectful, but like there were so many people in her bridal party. Oh my God. Which I liked. But I loved that she did different dresses for everybody, and then just had this diverse, like this really specific, like color palette. I loved the color palette of her wedding. I liked the way the dresses looked, even with the preset from the photographer, and I liked how it looked regular without it. Like it was so pretty. It was like pastel isn't the right word. Like there is a word specifically that I'm looking for. Like what comes to mind, it's almost like what comes to mind when I think of her wedding palette for the dresses, at least for the bridesmaids, it's like almost like you're having a really nice pastry, like you're looking at a bunch of colorful macaroons. That's what it is. Like that's what I feel like when I'm looking at Carlin's wedding, like bridal party. I loved it. It was so pretty. It was so nice. It was so diverse, like in terms of the colors and everything like that. So yeah, I love that. I loved it. Okay, Esther. Now my baby Esther got #1 during the last wedding ranking, and I was thinking about that because everybody was like, oh, Katie. I'm still giving it to my girl Esther. I loved her wedding. I loved it, and I really loved these dresses. Now I think why I really liked it is because of the color and the material. I like the satin silk thing. I could go a whole backstory about that for me, but I loved the color though, the gold. And I feel like when you look at her wedding pictures with the bridal party, it doesn't do it the justice of how pretty the colors were because of the presets that the photographer is using. And I'm not trying to like talk badly about the photographer or whatever, because that's why you choose your photographer when you're getting married and everything, like knowing that they're going to edit the photos a certain way. But like if you look at this video from like a clip of the wedding, just look at how pretty this gold is. Oh, just so beautiful. Another wedding where all of the girls wore the same dress. I always think it's interesting with Esther and Nathan's wedding that the only person from Nathan's side of the family that was a bridesmaid was Tiffany. And at that point, I don't even think she was engaged to Lawson. And I think that's just so funny. Like obviously, you know, the bride picks and that's who she's closest to in the family, but I think it's interesting that like Nathan didn't want any of his sisters, or like say like, yes, I get that Esther has a lot of sisters and her own friends, of course, but I just thought that was interesting because that's the first time we've seen that in a wedding with the Bates. Like I don't think there's been any other wedding where there hasn't been at least 1 or 2 legit blood siblings in the wedding. No shade to Tiffany. This is very clearly going in, you wear pants, don't you? Speak of the devil, it's going to Tiffany. And I remember I did not like Tiffany's wedding dress. I loved these bridesmaids dresses. And I feel like people are going to be like, what? I don't know. There's just something about them. I love the pink. I'm a pink girl. That's probably obvious. I love the color pink. Like I love pink. And I loved the pink. I loved the style. Like it was a nice kind of modest. Like I thought it was such a pretty dress. It looked so good on all of the bridesmaids. I loved these dresses. I loved the shoes. I loved it. Tiffany's wedding to me was so underwhelming. And for me, right? Again, it's not my wedding. It's not my dream. Obviously, it's not my vision. But I thought the dresses were just really, really pretty. I love the shape of the skirt. I love the sleeves on it. Like appropriate for being on a boat, which I'm sure it probably wasn't that warm. Yeah, I legitimately thought it was a dress that looked pretty on everybody. And I also loved the pointed shoes. Like I felt like it's the craziest small detail that I think is really what makes it such a nice look, is the pointed heels. Like it really ties it together. Well done. I don't really necessarily like the dangly things off the shoes, but I loved it. I thought these were so pretty. Okay, after Tiffany next is Hannah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say is Hannah. What I liked about Hannah's dresses were the fact that I loved the color, the silver, because I think they had a winter wedding, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I love that they all had the same color, but a different style dress. Now, she's not the only person on this list to do that, but I feel like hers really, really, really worked. Like She understood the girls' like color palettes and tones. She had a vision, is what I would say, and she executed it wonderfully. I thought they were just so pretty. Everybody had a dress on that looked really good on them. It looked nice coming down the aisle. I liked her dresses. They were really nice. Next is Tori. Now, Tori is another one who I put really kind of low on the wedding rankings, but her bridesmaids dresses, I really pondered them for a long time. And I feel like it speaks to how much I feel like I must not like other dresses, that hers is so high. Maybe that's rude, actually, how that come off. But what I love about Tori's wedding dresses, and again, hers is the same situation with Hannah, where it's all the same color, but different style dresses. But what I loved about Tori's dress, her bridesmaid dresses, and in general her wedding, I loved this purple that she chose. I thought it was so pretty. Like it really was a perfect winter color, because she got married in December, and the dark purple is just so pretty to me. I loved it. And I liked that each girl had a different style dress. When comparing these dresses, is that how formal it was in a sense. Like, I kind of like the dresses that are a little bit, it feels like a bridesmaid's dress, like it feels like fancy and dressed up, and like I liked the purple. I liked the purple. I really think that's what it is for me. Like, I liked the purple. Like, I could see 100% why other people might not like this dress. But I think also what I like about Tori's wedding is Tori doesn't strike me as a wedding person. I think I didn't rewatch her wedding. I probably should have. I honestly think we should do like a group recap of all the weddings, because I'm telling you, watching Carlin's, I'm gonna get to that, but Tori's not like a wedding person. I think she's more considered like a bit of a tomboy. Like, that's just not her kind of stuff. And I loved the colors of her wedding. I really do. I loved the purple. It was so unique. It was so pretty. I liked it. It was a perfect winter color, and that's why it ranks where it is. Fight me in the comment. After Tori is gonna be Katie. I feel like there are a lot of people who would have thought that Katie's dress would have been higher on the list. This is my list. This is my personal opinion. Because I can 100% see why people would like Katie's dress more than Tori's dresses. What it was about Katie's dresses, like, I liked the black. I like that, that formal black tie sort of thing that she was going for. Black was a great color to choose for that. I just don't think I love this style of dress. But it's still ranking very high on this list, so clearly I still thought it was a lot nicer than, not a lot nicer, but like I thought it was nicer than other people's. But I love that all of her brides, I really do am like I like when all the bridesmaids wear the same thing, which has absolutely no like real bearing on this, because clearly but I do like when all the bridesmaids wear the same thing, because I think that's interesting in a way, because that relies on all of the looking good on all of them, which it did. Everybody in her wedding was like the same size though, so but her dresses were nice. It's just like I don't think I like this strap thing here. Like, I think the black was a good idea. I feel like I get the look that she was going for. I just don't in particular love this dress. Yeah, that's it. And I would rank this in She Wears Pants Now. My next favorite is Lauren. Again, it's the pink thing. I love pink. I loved the pink. I loved the pink in her wedding. And I feel like if you look at it from pictures, 'cause they're all kind of blurry, it doesn't do justice how pretty the pink was. How when you watch the episode, like, it's a pink that looks good on everybody that was in her bridal party. Like, it's so much prettier, like, watching the video of it compared to, I feel like, looking at the pictures, like looking at the movement of the dress. Like, it's a beautiful dresses that she picked for them. IMO, as a pink girly, I just think it looks good on everybody. Next is Josie. I didn't love Josie's dresses, so she did all different dresses for all of the girls, which, I guess I didn't hate. I liked the gold. I thought that was pretty, which, like, look, and they were like sparkly, and it looked good with her wedding palette, Yeah. Oh my goodness, what we need to talk about in this photo is Alyssa's hair. So they all wear different dresses, but they all have the same hairstyle basically. And every time I look at this picture or any picture of Alyssa from this wedding, I'm like, why the f did they put her bun that high up on her head? It looks like she's got Like, it looks like something is like growing up the side of her head. Like, she has like an extra ear here. And I don't know if it's maybe how the photo is edited, like the coloring, washing it out. I guess like why I hate it is because like Alyssa's got kind of like a squarish shaped head, which sounds rude, but like I don't think that's rude. It's like some people do, just kind of a square head. Like I have like a really round head. Like I don't like, and so this hairstyle in particular, like, just the way the bun is sitting, it makes her look like her head is like literally like a block. Like it's so awful. Like, why did the hairstylist do that to her? All right, next, Katie. Katie's dresses were nice. That's all I have to say. I like, you know, they were all different colors. I felt they were very Easter appropriate. They got married on Easter of that year. I think the cream that I put into this tea is going bad, and I just like, I'm so sorry to myself. Why does whipping cream go bad so quickly? Like, I just opened it. Like, I hate that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it looked nice coming down the aisle. Beautiful gowns, as a wise woman once said. That's really all I have to say about that. You know, they were dresses that, you know, like flattering everybody. They're very bridesmaidsy. Obviously, you know, like, I don't know what to say about that. Like, they're all the same dress but different colors, similar to how Ginger did hers. But yeah, again, they were pretty dresses. They just weren't all that, I guess. Like, that's it. Okay, Michael. Now, Michael, I had a hard time knowing where to put hers because I was just like, I really do like pink. Like, I loved the pink of her dresses. I thought the style was pretty. I liked the sash, but I hated the dresses that Kelly Jo, Erin, and I think it's Addie and Ellie, maybe, or maybe just Addie. I'm gonna look at the photo right now. Wore. Like, I hated those dresses. Oh my goodness. And I think the reason why is the color. If those had maybe been in a different color, the color and the style, like the two together, like, I just did not like it. I did not like it. To me, it was kind of like was it necessary for those dresses to be different? Like, I totally get it. You're going for an aesthetic. You're going for a look for your wedding. But in my opinion, we probably could have done without those dresses. Like, the layers, the brown sash, all of it was just awful. Respectfully, I just did not like those dresses. Did not like them. Sorry. But the pink was pretty. Oh, and I put Michael's in the category of, did Michael sew these? Next is Jessa. Jessa's dresses, I feel like Jessa's dresses, I liked the color a lot about. Like, I thought so hard about hers. Because off bat, when I first looked, I was like, oh no, I don't like hers. I feel like this is a dress that goes in the category, you could wear this again to church. And I just feel like, knowing Jessa's personality, that's literally why she picked it. Because, like, these dresses are so bright and summery, but our girl got married in like November or something like that. So this wasn't even a summer wedding. But we have these short sleeve, bright coral dresses. Now again, like, I'm saying that I do like these. I mean, out of all of the, well, that's not true, but I did like her dress. Because it doesn't feel very bridesmaidsy to me, and that's what I didn't like about it. Like, it just felt like these are your group of friends who are going to church, and just all happened to be matching that day. Like it's just such a dress that, like, it just really looks like she picked it with it in mind that, oh, so you can wear this again. And this is why she has never fallen out of favor with Jim Bob Duggar. Next is Joy. Okay, so everything about Joy's wedding just tickles me, okay? Because these dresses, baby. Number one, going in the category of, you can wear this again to church. You could wear this again to the mall. You could wear this down to a date night, to the movies. You could wear this to the store real quick. Like, her dresses were so simple. I was just like, it's almost funny It's almost funny. Like, I loved that it was so simple. I loved everything about Joy's wedding, that it was just like such a relaxed, like, I'm doing this because you're supposed to do all these things for your wedding, but like I really could care less. And why I love that about her wedding as well is because her wedding was so pretty. Her wedding was so nice. Like, that's why, like I said, sometimes I feel bad like when I ranked their dresses how I did, because Miss Cindy put her foot into some of these weddings, okay, and Joy's is one of them. Her wedding was so beautiful, and I just, these simple dresses like just tickle me. Like, it went perfectly with the vibe and theme of her wedding, right? But it's just like, they're so like, these are literally like you bought a 10-pack off of AliExpress, babe, and said, everybody, here you go. Like, I love that. Affordable. Like, if you were a bridesmaid, that's all you need and you're good to go. Another wedding where everybody wore the same thing except they all wore different shoes. I think that was the case also for Jess's wedding. But yeah, just super, like, I know there's a few of Joy's bridesmaids who still have this dress and who still rock it. Like, imagine, this probably turned into the perfect maternity dress for some of these. Anyway. Next is Abby. I didn't really like Abby's dresses, and the reason why, right? Because I feel like to the naked eye, this should be really a lot higher on this list. Why I didn't like it is because of how high cut it was. I felt like it was weird that it was almost like borderline A-line in a sense, like the way it was cut. Like, it was almost like it wanted to be a dress from 1810, but then they were like, no, we are in a little bit of a more modern era. Let's bring the waistline down just a little bit. Like, it's just cut in such an awkward place to me that isn't super flattering. So I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm also not like really a big sparkly girl, but there's just something about these dresses that I don't like. I don't know. And I don't know. I think it's the cut of the dress, because then it makes it look like there's all this tulle, like that it looks unbalanced. I didn't like it. Next is Claire. Claire. As I was trying to decide where to put Claire, I'm like, Claire, why do I feel like I'm saying I hated your wedding? Like, I just didn't like the dress. I would say this goes in the category of I bought these with everybody's body type in mind. Like, I just didn't like it. I don't know. I tried really hard to like it too. I just didn't. I mean, it ranked higher than other people's, right? But I didn't like it. I didn't like it. There's something unflattering about them, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the sash. I don't know if it's the like weird open, like, I think it's the sash though. I just feel like it's not tailored pretty. Like, I get we're being modest girls, but let's please, for God's sake, let somebody get a good tailor. Like, I guess that's why it's convenient when you have dresses like Joy's and Jessa's, because it's like, well, it's just a church dress, right? Everybody's gonna look good in it in their size, because it's ready to wear for real, you know what I mean? Whereas like when you're getting these kinds of like bridesmaids, you're supposed like bridesmaids dresses, that they have to be like, you have to get precise measurements, they have to get like tailored in theory, and I just don't like how these look. I feel like the colors don't really look good on anybody. While it does go with the theme of their wedding, I don't feel like it's a color that is suitable for everybody's color palette that was in the wedding. So I did not like Claire's bridesmaid dresses. Next is going to go to Whitney, and this is of course from the first wedding. We are never going to acknowledge that second wedding. I don't care if it's the nicer, fancier, included her parents' wedding. This is the real nitty gritty fundy wedding, okay? And that's what turns me on, really. I mean, I don't want to say like I liked it. I didn't, they had like another Christmas wedding, I think. And I liked the black and red. This dress is definitely going in the did Michael sew these category, okay? I liked it. I mean, like it was suitable. It was enough. It was enough, okay? It did what it needed to do. The black dress, the red sash, it was giving Christmas. Let's roll right through this wedding. Next is Anna. Okay, so I'm actually re-recording this because when I first recorded this, I didn't notice the eye trap's silver slit in this dress because I didn't have any full pictures. Like, it's really hard to find pictures of this dress on the internet, so I went and rewatched the episode, and it changed my opinion. I actually ended up moving it down on the list of where it should go, because I just feel like it really makes it a completely different dress. Had it been just this solid, like this dark navy blue, I feel like, okay, I'm on board. I thought it was like really well sewn compared to some of the other dresses that were hand sewn. But it's something about that silver slit that just feels unnecessary. But I really didn't think the bride's dresses were that bad at all for Anna's wedding. I think Anna gets so much shit for her wedding when it's like, it was the first one, it was televised, it was deep in the cult days, so it wasn't horrible, and I liked how all the girls wore their hair. Okay, Kendra. Now, I debated putting Kendra before Whitney and before Claire, but I just felt like her dresses were too simple. Hers go also in the category, you can wear this again at church. She's a preacher's daughter. I get it. She was definitely thinking about it. But I just didn't like her dresses. They were too simple to me. I didn't really like the color. That's it. Like, I just didn't care for her bridesmaid dresses. Okay, next, which I was surprised that because I thought this was going to be last at first. But it's Jill's. I hated these dresses. Every time I look at them, I don't like them. And the reason why, I think also like a part of the reason why I don't like these dresses is because it's so like, it's almost like traumatic, because it's so on trend for the time that it's like, oh my god, like it makes me cringe, like not for her but for myself. What millennials went through in the 2000 aughts, okay? Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so like the 3 layers, the little bit of white showing, the belt. Ooh, girls, for the millennials out there, because I know a lot of my followers are millennials. Like my subscribers are millennials. This thin belt, babe, what a time to be alive. Okay. Oh my god, every dress had this belt. This, oh my goodness, like it's so trendy, it's just like insane to me. Like I cannot. And then the necklaces, it's so 2014 that I just cannot. Like, I did not like these dresses. I probably liked it back then when I first started, like, oh my god, that's so cute for her to be that trendy, a DUGGAR girl. And looking back now, I'm like, actually a little bit insane, Jill. What was going on there? No, I actually think I really never liked her dresses, the bridesmaids dresses. Definitely a dress that you could wear again to church. Could you wear it again to church now? You know what? Even still, yes. Just take off the belt, take off the necklace, maybe switch it out with something else. You probably still make the necklace work, but that belt would have to go. That's so of the time. That's very, like, just very specifically that thin belt around the waist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The trauma that just unlocked. Oh my goodness. The back to school shopping that just unlocked. Oh my goodness. I just didn't like the style of dress. That's okay though. It's not my wedding. Next. Last 2. This one, the next is, and I really feel like I debated where to put which. I also was like, do I like this one more than I liked Whitney's? But no. And that is Erin. Now, Erin has the distinction of being the first Bates daughter to get married. So she was really like the trial and error, but especially when she makes the comment in Carlin's wedding of like, I love helping her, asking my opinion. It's like getting to have a second wedding. There is so much that I could say from just that statement alone. Like, it's really interesting when people talk about like the beef between Erin and Carlin and like they're falling out. To me, in my opinion, it was kind of like maybe not inevitable, but they were really, really close in a way where like Erin has a really strong personality, and she is also very committed to the teachings that she was brought up and raised in terms of IBLP and everything. And I just feel like for a very, very long time, Carlin leaned on her and relied on her and mimicked her and like second guessed herself and deferred to Erin for like advice and stuff and like for her life. And when she finally started to break away from that and start having more of her own opinions and like being stronger and like, this is what I want, that's where they kind of had their falling out. IMO. Like, I'm telling you, I was watching Carlin's wedding and I was like, oh. Anyway, but as you can see from these dresses, this is why, you know, she'd probably want to do a do-over of her wedding, because girl, like, this is definitely in the category, did Michael sew these? I think he did. And you know, they're okay, they're cute, they're okay. Like, I think what it is about them, beyond like the very simple design, I just feel like they're not hemmed very well is part of it. Because I feel like the hems should have come up just a little bit higher for some of the dresses. Like, it's almost like some of them have them on and they should have been like cinched in just a little bit more, with the waist being up. Like, if you look at like Alyssa's in this picture, like her waist should have been just like a little bit higher to make it more flattering. And like, I get that we're going for a modesty thing, in which case, like from a style perspective, then we shouldn't have this bow and like eye attracting like design at all, because this is something that is supposed to be like drawing your attention to the waist, in which case you need to sew it in a way that it looks flattering on your waist. If you're not going to do that, then you should have just left it off and sewn it like regular almost. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like, you could have still, I guess, kept the hemline there, but without this like weird bow thing being there, and moved the color somewhere else. I have no idea. But these dresses, baby, you know, trial and error. It was a different time. You know what I mean? Like, nobody was wearing pants yet. Which moves us on to our next one. The last at the bottom of this list. I don't want to say most egregious, but a little bit of the most egregious. I feel like the first time I saw these photos, I was like, what? Which I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Okay, God, please, if I ever get married, don't make me make a terrible choice, okay? I think what it is about Alyssa's bridesmaids dresses is the colors, and then how the photographer posed them, like eeny meeny miny mo, like every other whatever. Like, maybe it should have just been all the pink girls on one. I don't even know. It has to be the colors and the material of the dress that's what makes it so like garish. Is that the word? Like, it's so hard on the eyes. Like, it's a good idea that didn't have great execution, and I do not want to blame this on Michael sewing it, because it definitely did Michael sew these, like and I really feel like that's not what it is at all. It's just the material and the color. Like, there's only been so much you can do if the material and the color aren't right, or don't look right, or look funny, okay? But just this bright Pepto-Bismol pink, this aquamarine blue, okay, like it's a bit much. Like, this is why we don't ever see like Alyssa posting too many of her photos. Like, was it of the time? Was she 18, 19 years old when she's planning this wedding? Absolutely. But it just a mess, honey, a mess. I can't. Like, you know, and it's crazy because I'm sure like at the time, this honestly reminds me of a bridesmaid's dress that I wore for a cousin's wedding in 2012. What matters most is that she looked so happy. Like, the bride was pretty, which is important. And these are the colors that she wanted. It was a fave for her, and the rest is history. The rest is history. All right, that was it. That was my list. Those are my rankings. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, who was your fave. Can't wait to hear it.